Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Many thanks for joining us on Corporate Governance Platform, proudly brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, the hub of governance professionals. I am Tunde Odeyemi, your anchorman, and in today's episode, we are going to look at the relevance of shareholders' relationship management in corporate governance. And to lead in this conversation is a distinguished fellow of ICSAN and a member of the Council, Mrs. Jacqueline Yemi ODIADI. Mrs. ODIADI is a multi-skilled professional with over 2 decades of experience in law, corporate governance and compliance, educational management, organizational capacity building, business development, training and advocacy in Nigeria. She is a lawyer by training and possesses a wealth of experience working with and through local structures and systems, including government departments, business and communities. Mrs. ODIADI is well-versed in design, management, monitoring and evaluation of donor-funded projects in the education and community, working in various capacities for international organizations. She is a fellow and council member of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, and she is currently the chairman of the Law Reform Committee of the Institute. Jacqueline has served as Secretary General of the Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria and also served as the chairman of Lagos State Chapter of ICSAN. Mrs. ODIADI, you are welcome once again to Corporate Governance Platform.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here once again.
Okay, thank you for finding time to join us on today's program. We want to discuss the relevance of shareholders' relationship management as it affects corporate governance. And I would like to start by asking, what is shareholders' engagement?
Shareholders' engagement, it's actually the process where the shareholders, who are regarded as owners of the business, interface with the managers of the business. That is the management, the board, the directors are interfacing with the owners of the business, those who have shares in that organization. So share, and then that relationship needs to be managed. So how you engage, how you interface with the owners and the managers of the business really encompasses the whole process, the management of the process, and the end result of the end result, the end goal that you seek to
achieve at the end of the day. All
Yes.
right. Okay. I would like to invite our viewers to join us in this program by participating by sending text message only to us for their comments or questions. Please, no phone call. Send text message to the number you have on the screen of your TV set, 080-2323-1287. I take the number for the last time, 080-2323-1287. Okay, Mrs. ODIADI, you have explained to us what is shareholders' engagement. Now, what then is the purpose of shareholders' engagement in the context of corporate governance?
The purpose really is to foster, promote the principles and tenets of corporate governance. You know, the process of engaging with shareholders, you promote openness, you promote transparency, you promote accountability, you promote information flow, and you promote the exercise of the rights and powers of the shareholders in the business. So the underpinning principle is really, underpinning goal is really the promotion of the principles and tenets of corporate government to ensure the sustainability of the business.
Okay, so to promote the principles of corporate governance. However, what then is the in what ways can effective shareholders management drive corporate objective?
Like I said, you know, when you allow for effective shareholder engagement,
okay,
the shareholders have a say. They can contribute to the development of the strategic plan,
okay,
of the business.
okay.
They can be more committed. You have fresh fertilization of ideas. You enhance confidence even in the investors that you know, there is no there are no dark skeletons. In the financial reports, financial statements, and the processes of the organization. You know, more importantly, you get to share in the wealth of experience of some of the shareholders.
Okay.
And then that is brought to bear in the operations in the operations of the company, and promotes a healthy relationship and promotes the sustainability of the business.
Okay, I think what this connotes in essence is that shareholders engagement, we enable shareholders to be involved in it. They are not exclusively excluded from the business.
They are not.
Okay.
It is to ensure that we create more avenues.
Okay.
What we need to do is to create more avenues for the shareholders to engage meaningfully, okay, with the company, with the senior management of the company, the implementers of decisions, those who implement the decisions at the AGM, implement the decisions, the directives of the board, and to explain to them why certain decisions have been made. Okay. And if they have better ideas of how such projects can be executed, or to fan out, expand the operations of the company, and lend their voice to the sustainability plans and succession plans of the corporation.
Okay, with this understanding, will you say that shareholders' engagement has reached the desired level in corporate Nigeria?
I would say that it's still a work in progress.
Okay.
It's still a work in progress. More so because of some are internally, some are internal constraints, internal shortcomings of the organizations, and some are external. Okay. You know, you still have delayed notice of meetings or non-receipt of meetings. Okay. You still have obsolete data, dividends, warrants or notification being sent to the wrong address. You still have, the exclusivity of, or the non-inclusion of those who are physically challenged, okay, or visibly challenged. How do they engage with the organization? What is their their rights and powers? They are being deprived of the rights and powers they have to exercise those rights and powers. You have still decision to take AGM that's before COVID to far distance, which and then now with COVID, there is restriction number of people that can attend the AGM, yeah. And then now we need to talk about availability of data or access to internet, you know, and the means by which to participate meaningfully at the annual general meeting.
Okay, let's look at a provision in the Code of Corporate Governance of 2018. The code provides that the board should develop a policy that ensures appropriate engagement with shareholders. The policy should be hosted on the company's website. Now the question is, why is the requirement of hosting the policy on the company's website necessary?
I believe the regulators want to ensure and keep track that corporate entities are complying.
Okay.
Compliance is a major issue, are complying with the principle as stated in the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance for shareholders, promotion of shareholder engagement. And so in that regard, although it may be posted on their website, but how is it being implemented and how accessible it is? But it's a notch up from where we were.
Okay.
And for those who can also have access to the website, read what is stated there, and then ask follow-up questions and raise some concerns that they need more clarification on.
Okay. Is a better way of letting the shareholders know the policy.
It's a better way of letting the shareholders know about the operations, what is going on, the plans of the company, what decisions, what projects are being looked at, and then ensure that they have a voice in what is going on.
Okay. Do you think that the recent, you also made a remark on this, the recent prohibition on pre-annual general meetings with shareholders is contrary to the principle of shareholders engagement?
Well, I believe Securities and Exchange Commission came out later to throw more light on that issue, and that's really because the pre-annual general meeting was just for a select number of shareholders, and and one of the principles is that all shareholders are equal and must be treated equally. And that pre-annual, the way it was designed was to disenfranchise some shareholders. Because it was not open to all shareholders. And so what is the purpose? Are you treating some shareholders different from another? And then if you look at what the company will deploy in terms of financial resources for such a program, then you should really let it impact more on the price share, the share value, or the pricing of the share, or the dividend that will be given to the shareholders. Why deploy such financial resources for just a select shareholders and not for all the shareholders?
Okay, you did mention that all shareholders are equal, irrespective of the shareholding. Is that a statement? Is that a statement of fact?
Well, as in principle, yes.
Yes. Okay.
But you still have institutional investors.
Okay.
You have, and they are the big boys.
Okay.
They are they have the money.
Okay.
They are influencers, and you have the banks, the insurance company, the angel investors. Okay. So you have such a wide range of institutional investors. So when they sneeze, you catch cold. So for such investors, yeah, well, when we're talking about maybe share pricing, a 5 naira share is a 5 naira share, yeah.
Sure.
But in terms of majority shareholding, yes, we have the retail investors, institutional investors. So there is a tendency to have a differential treatment for such shareholders, but in principle, all shareholders are
equal. Okay, thank you very much. I also like to remind our viewers that you can send text message to participate in this program. Send your text message to make comments or ask questions to 080-2323-1287. Now, with the regulatory restriction and the COVID-19 protocols on social distancing, how do you think that the company can achieve effective shareholders engagement?
I think it's still it's evolving.
Okay.
It's evolving, like I said, even before COVID, we still haven't reached that level where we can say we've advanced to that of the more advanced countries. But with COVID-19 restrictions now, it's further widened the gap. You have a hybrid kind of AGM. You have hybrid AGM these days, and if you do not have a smartphone, if you don't have data, if you don't have laptop, any of these technical hardware, how would you know what is going on? So, like I said, we would recommend that, when it comes to such issues, we should still have to work on how to engage with the broad spectrum, all shareholders, and see if we can have hubs.
Okay.
Hubs where some shareholders in this region can go to this and hook up to the main meeting, and so that their voices are not stifled, and then they can continue to participate in the growth and development of the organization.
Oh, that's a brilliant idea. The board is required to encourage institutional investors to positively influence the standard of corporate governance. The question, why is the focus on institutional investors, since substantial number of them do not always attend annual general meetings?
Well, they don't, because they already know they already know more about the operations. They are more aware. They are knowledgeable. They, like I said, they are big influencers. They are all. A lot of them are guided. Most of them are foreign or international or multinational organizations. When I say multinational, not just necessarily European or American. You have Nigerians also investing in companies outside of the shores of Nigeria, and they must meet with high standards. They already know what they want. They know one of the things they look out for before they invest in your organization, in your company, is your governance process.
Okay.
They look at your operations. They look at your business strategy, business models before they invest. So they already have such structures and processes in place. And so the regulators are even reaching out to the
Institutional
investors to assist in ensuring that the organizations they engage with have imbibed the tenets and principles of corporate governance.
Okay. How can we maximize the benefits of regulation that entitles shareholders to send written questions to the company before annual general meeting in order to facilitate effective engagement?
Well, we can continue to create awareness for that.
Okay.
We can continue to ensure that those who are to benefit from that provision benefit from it. So we because a lot of them are not even aware. The law has been made, The regulation has been put in place, but they are not even aware.
Okay.
You know, you have that right, you have that power, but you are not aware that you have that. We should continue to create awareness. We should continue to update our data so that we can, we can reach more shareholders.
One thing I'm looking at concerning this particular provision is that would there be sufficient time at annual general meetings to take those questions as well as take the questions of those that are present?
There is something. It's just like it's the way it is managed.
Okay.
You know, you can group questions.
Okay.
You know, similar questions. You know, the broad spectrum of questions regarding particular issues, questions in terms of operations, in terms of process, in terms of good citizenship, in terms of so you can group those questions and then address them, you know, in like manner. Okay. You know, so, and then there will be you know, like I said, it depends on how. There is nothing that is impossible. It is to look at the process, to look at the questions, to give adequate time for that, and I think more of the work will fall on the company secretary. Okay. And his or her team. You know, you need an army of officers to mind those questions online, and I'm sure there are tools. Okay. Online tools. So yes, you know, we're now in the fifth industrial revolution, and we're experiencing that globally. And you know, there's the blockchain technology. Just feed this thing, and the machine will sort out the questions, categorize them, and then you address them. Okay,
it depends on the way it is being managed.
It depends on being managed.
Now let's go back to the code. The Code of Corporate Governance recommends that the dealings of the company with shareholders associations are always transparent and in the best interest of the company. How can the relationship be done transparently by the company? Now we are talking about the shareholders association.
Okay, the engagement with the
shareholders association.
Well, it's to always it's to always work on giving the shareholders association timely information, adequate information. You know, the information should not be too brief, that it does not give you the opportunity to make informed decision. Okay. And the document should not be too verbose for the information to be lost in the process. So it is, and then you know, the shareholders shareholders association should also come up with targeted questions that interest them and make it concise, and state categorically the kind of information, the feedback that the association requires for them to be able to take informed decision.
Okay. Under the code, still on the Corporate Governance Code of 2018, under the code, the board is enjoined to encourage institutional investors to monitor its performance with the code. Do you think this is another mechanism for accountability?
Oh, certainly. We had discussed it earlier. As we said earlier, you know, if the institutional investors say, we need to see your shareholders engagement policy, we need to see your governance framework, we need to see your compliance framework, we need to see your risk management policy. You know, the entities begin to shape up, to sit up, to pull up their boots and see and really, you know, review their processes and ensure that it's in line with the principles of corporate governance.
So it will engender accountability.
It will engender accountability.
Okay. Why is this responsibility for monitoring compliance limited to only the institutional investors? Like I said the other time, less than 10, there are less than 10% of the shareholders. We still have the large number that are retail shareholders, thereby excluding that large number of the retail shareholders from monitoring activities.
Well, I think it's just a gap. It's a gap. Retail investors are there. They're on ground. They are more or less the frontline investors. They are close to the organization. They know what is going on. Some of them have clients. Some of them that are stockbrokers, they have clients, and they can advise the clients to invest in this company because of this, or perhaps because they are more into retail. That is why, but that is no reason for them not to also ask questions, because they will have time to attend the AGMs. They will have time to address this issue. Our corporate governance code is a good document.
Okay.
And like we have in South Africa, they have the King's Code 4 now. That means they've reviewed it about 4 or 5 times. So we've just done our own twice, or 3 times. So it's still a work in progress.
Okay, I want to answer this question in less than 1 minute. It's on ICSAN line. What advice does ICSAN have for companies on how to ensure effective shareholders engagement?
ICSAN, well, we are custodians
of
corporate governance, and ICSAN is saying through me, I don't know if I have the president's permission, but that we should continuously work towards advocate for shareholders' rights.
Okay.
Ensure that their interest is well registered. There is no insider trading to undermine the value of their shares. There is no tunneling of assets and all that. That is stripping down of companies' assets and selling at below market price, and all such unethical practices. So we'll continue to work on that, continue to work on reforms of the code and other things.
Okay, on that note, we wrap up on today's episode of Corporate Governance Platform. Mrs. Jacqueline ODIADI, thank you for coming on the show and for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
We'd like to say thank you to our viewers. We invite you to join us again next week, same station, same time. I remain Tunde Odeyemi. Thank you. Keep spreading the gospel of corporate governance. Bye for now.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.